I felt like I didn't belong. I wanted someone, anyone, beside me.
So many things seem intertwined. I began this journey hoping to find you.
Hello, everyone! Welcome to PST Channel Game Story Movie Style for your busy days. We still be in Final Fantasy world. Let us explore the first series of Final Fantasy in PlayStation 2, Final Fantasy X. A beautiful scenery, romantic story, bravery legend, and climax reveal that will make your heart move again. Enjoy! Before we begin the recap, let PST explain you a bit of background lore from Final Fantasy X. The world in Final Fantasy X is called Spira. There was Machina War 1,000 years ago. The war is between Zanarkand, a city-state where people enhance their lives by using mix of magic and Machina, machines, and Bavel, the advanced Machina technology city-state. The war ended with a fall of Zanarkand and the birth of Sin. 1,000 years later, Spira suffers calamity of Sin. Sin destroys anywhere it visits. Sin is regarded as a punishment of Machina using by Yevon, the only religion on Spira. Yevon believes that Machina caused a war of destruction, turned many souls into hatred pyreflies, and those hatred pyreflies become Sin, so Machina is prohibited on Spira. Normally, Pyrefly is a glowing bug born from life force after people died. When Pyrefly is released from the body, Summoner will perform Sending Ritual to send them toward Farplane, the place inside planet where its life force is gathered. If not, the spirit will be trapped in Physical's plane with negative energy, manifesting Pyrefly into monsters. Pyreflies in water are harmonized. They can be energy crystallized into spheres usable for Blitzball Grounder Recorder. Now, let's enjoy game story.
Listen to my story. This may be our last chance.
The story begins with the popularity of a boy named Tidus. He is a famous blitzball player of Zanarkand Metropolis. It's an opening match of Jecht Memorial Cup. Jecht is Tidus' father. He was disappeared 10 years ago. During the match, the gigantic wave is flooding toward the metropolis. It's in Auron's eyes, but he seems not to be attentive. Auron has acted as Tidus' mentor since Jecht's disappearance. The match is continuing while the gigantic wave is destroying everything in Zanarkand. This wave makes Stadium ruined. Tidus falls from the ruin. Everyone's running away from the metropolis. When Tidus is confusing, he meets the boy in violet cloak. The boy says it's begin, don't cry. Then he disappears. Tidus meets Auron. He let him see the gigantic wave rolling up into Big Orb. Auron explains it calls Sin. Then Monster appears. Auron gives Jecht's sword to Tidus and teaching the way to fight. Tidus and Auron fight their way through the invading monsters. They reach Sin. Auron talks to Sin and let Tidus and himself to be sucked in by Sin. Tidus gains consciousness in the ruin alone until he gets helped by Riku and the group during battle with Monster. Tidus tries to thank them, but they speak foreign language. Tidus gets captured by Riku and the group. They bring him to their ship. Riku understands his language. They let Tidus work as a salvager of ancient relic because of his swimming skill. Tidus discovers the ancient airship, but the group still be unable to accept Tidus as one of them. Riku shares food to Tidus. She introduces her group are Al-Bhed, the tribe who use forbidden Machina technology. But when Tidus says he is a blitzball player at Zanarkand, Riku thinks that Tidus got Sin's toxin, so he is amnesiac. because Zanarkand was destroyed by Sin 1,000 years ago. Riku suggests Tidus to go to Luca. Someone there may know about Zanarkand. According to Yevon, Zanarkand is holy place now. He shouldn't tell anyone about his hometown.
Tonic! E-tonic!
Then Sin appears and knocks Tidus off the salvage ship. Tidus gets conscious again on the beach. His blitzball skill catches Wakka's eyes. Leader of players group. But when Tidus tells that he comes from Zanarkand team, everyone gets confused. So Tidus make an excuse that he got Sin's toxin. Tidus asks Wakka about Zanarkand. 1,000 years ago, there were a lot of cities with Machina technology in Spira. People had free time and made Machina work instead. Then Sin came and destroyed every Machina cities, including Zanarkand. Sin is like the punishment for humans overspending. Tidus wants to find Sin. He thinks he can go home with that. In Besaid village, Wakka asks Tidus to join his blitzball team named Besaid Aurochs, since a major blitz tournament's coming up, and Tidus accepts. Wakka says he joined Aurochs at 13 years old 10 years ago, but has never won. After last year's tournament, Wakka quit. Wakka brings Tidus to see Crusader's Lodge and teach him how to pray in Yevon, religion of Spira. It's also a prayer for victory of blitzball. Tidus is walking outside the cloister of Trials. The priest says Lord Braska became High Summoner 10 years ago. Summoners are practitioners of a sacred art, sworn to protect people of Yevon. Only a chosen few become summoners who can call forth the Aeons. Great power blessing Yevon. Tidus wakes up and follows Wakka to Besaid Temple. Wakka says apprentice summoners need to pass through trial in the cloister of Trials. Their prayer must be heard by Aeons. It's dangerous inside, but their guardians get ready, and it's forbidden to enter. Tidus worries about safety, ignoring Wakka's warning, and goes inside to rescue the apprentice summoner. Wakka follows and helps Tidus. Wakka is one of the guardians who protect a summoner. Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Wakka and Tidus meet the other guardians, Ronzo Kimari and the black mage Lulu. Then Yuna, the summoner, comes out of the Chamber of the Faith. She already passed the trial. Wakka leads Tidus to see a rite of first Aeon summoning named Velafor, performed by Yuna. Wakka introduces Tidus to his blitzball team and says their goal must be victory. The villagers see Tidus as a bad man because of his intrusion of trial. But Yuna feels thankful to him, so Tidus has a chance to talk with Yuna at first time. He reassures her to be able to become High Summoner. Yuna asks Tidus to join their pilgrimage. Tidus wakes up and hears a quarrel between Lulu and Wakka about Chapu. Tidus asks Wakka about Chapu. Wakka says Chapu was his little brother, and Tidus looked like him. Chapu was Crusaders and died in battle with Sin last year. Wakka joined Guardians to revenge on Sin. After the next tournament of Blitzball, he will take Guardian jobs seriously. He tries to make clear that he has never played upon Tidus. Tidus has never blamed him and feels thankful to him. Wakka gives Chapu's sword to Tidus. He recalls Yuna came to this village 10 years ago. When the last calm started, Lulu and Wakka take care of her as their sister. She has talent as a summoner since then. Tidus meets Kimahri, and Wakka stops the fight between Tidus and Kimahri. Lulu explains Kimahri is from Ronso tribe. He has protected Yuna since she was a child. Then the Guardians begins their pilgrimage by ship. Wakka plans to change boats at Kilika Island and head to Luca. Yuna will pray at temple there. Tidus hears the passengers on the ship talking that Yuna is the daughter of Braska, the High Summoner. Tidus saw his statue in the temple. Braska defeated Sin 10 years ago. It made Yuna a legacy of legend. Tidus understands how hard it is to have famous father. Tidus has a chance to talk to Yuna. Yuna believes that Zanarkand really existed because Jecht was her father's guardian 10 years ago, and he told her about Zanarkand. But Tidus doesn't believe that was the same Jecht. His father went out of the sea for training and died at the coast of Zanarkand 10 years ago. Yuna still believes he was the same one. Then the ship gets attacked by Sin. Sailors try to stick a harpoon on Sin, stopping it from going to the Kilika. Sin makes a flood toward the ship, and Tidus is drowned. Wakka dives to rescue him. The Guardians and sailors cannot stop Sin from destroying the village. This situation makes Tidus giving up on returning to Zanarkand. Yuna goes to Kilika as a summoner and voluntarily perform the sending. The rite of sending is a guidance for the dead. The dead refuse to face their fate because of their lingering emotion, then turn into fiends that prey on the living. Summoner performs sending of guidance, leading them to resting at Farplane in peace. Farplane is underworld in Spira. Wakka tells everyone, including Tidus, to go to temple. On the way, Yuna asks Tidus to be her guardian, but he doesn't decide. Wakka explains High Summoner named O'Holland used to live in the Kilika temple, and he was a great blitzer. The Guardians defeat Sin Spawn in the temple's yard. Sin Spawn is fiends fallen from Sin's body. The Guardians meets another summoner, Dona, and her guardian, Barthelo. When they underestimate the Guardians, Yuna affirms that she trusts all her Guardians with life, not related to quantity or quality. In the Cloister of Trials, Faith is waiting down there, so Yuna has to pass the trial first. Tidus gets thrown out because he is not a Guardian yet. But Dona forces Tidus to follow Yuna and Guardians. If someone who is not Guardian coming in Cloister of Trials, Yuna has to suffer the consequence. She can be excommunicated. The Chamber of Faith is forbidden for everyone except summoners to enter. Faith are souls of people who gave their lives to battle sin. They willingly give Yevon their souls while they are still alive and living in statue. When Summoner beckons, souls of faith emerge to be Aeon. Tidus had ever heard the songs in Chamber since his childhood, and it must connect Spira to Zanarkand somehow. Tidus is training Blitzball thinking of Jecht. Then Wakka and his team, including Yuna, show up. They ask Tidus to show his talent skill. Yuna says she had ever seen this skill from Jecht. It names Sublimely Magnificent Jecht Shot Mark III. Tidus slowly opens his mind to accept his father while talking to Yuna. The Guardians goes to Luca, the city for assembling of Blitzball players who participate in tournament at stadium. The people in the ship are excited, knowing that Maester Mika, the Grand Maester of Yevon and leader of Spira, comes here, because this tournament is being held to honor his 50 years as Maester. The first one who get off the ship is Maester Seymour Guado, who salutes Maester Mika when he goes down from the ship. Mika introduces Seymour as the son of Maester Jaiskal Guado, who departed a fortnight past. He has been officially ordained a Maester of Yevon. Seymour says his father worked for foster friendship between man and Guado, and he will continue that friendship. His eyes are on Yuna. When the tournament is about to begin, Yuna asks Tidus to find Orin and Cafe together. Orin was Braska's guardian. He may have a clue of Jecht. Tidus asks players of Al Bhed Psyches for thanking Riku, but they just interest in Yuna. Yuna is famous. There are reporters and photographers surrounding her on the way. Yuna says Luca is a largest city in Spira. Not many cities are like this, because when many people gathered in one place, sin will come. But Luca has stadium. Crusaders are protecting it because Blitzball is only entertainment left in Spira. The both cannot find Oran in Cafe, but sees Kamari is fighting with Yenki and Baran, the Ronso tribe. Then Tidus hears the news that tournament is beginning. The water is filled in orb as a stadium. Lulu says Yuna has been kidnapped by Al Bhed Psyches. They want Aurochs to lose in exchange with Yuna's life. Waka will take care of Game, and the Guardians should rescue Yuna. The Guardians can rescue Yuna. Tidus tells the Guardians about Al Bhed Salvagers who had saved his life. Yuna asks if anyone named Sid with them, but Tidus didn't understand Al Bhed's language. Yuna says Sid is her mother's brother. It makes her a half Al Bhed. Lulu tells Tidus to keep this back from Waka because Waka hate Al Bhed. Waka can win the match 3-2 in last 30 seconds for first half, but he is worn out. Tidus returns to game in second half, but audience votes for Waka. Tidus willingly leaves the match, let Waka end his last game. Aurochs can win the match first time. Then monsters are appeared in the stadium. The Guardians and Orin defeat them. Seymour calls Aeon named Anima to help defeating monsters. Waka bid farewell to his Blitzball team and joined the Guardians fully. While Tidus is meeting Orin. Orin says he, Braska, and Jecht defeated Sin 10 years ago. Then he went to Zanarkand and watched over Tidus. Jecht asked Orin to bring Tidus to Spira. Jecht is now alive as Sin. Orin and Tidus come back to join the Guardians. Yuna sees Tidus is upset, so she asks him to smile again. The Guardians goes to Mushroom Rock Road and sees statue of Lord Mihen. He was a founder of Crusaders 8 centuries ago. But with their glory, the Maesters of Yevon feared an uprising and accused them of rebellion. Lord Mihen refuted them and succeeded in winning the Maesters' trust. So Crusaders have become an arm of Yevon clergy. The townspeople ask to see the calm from Yuna. Lulu says that the calm is a time of peace after Summoner defeated Sin and lasts until Sin is reborn. Sin is immortal. It can be reborn after defeated. But a period until it's reborn is a peace, like 10 years after Braska defeated Sin. The Guardian spends the night at Rin's travel agency. Rin is an Al Bhed tribe. Tidus talks to Yuna about the cause of Sin reborn, but she has never questioned it. Tidus says if Sin's reborn, Yuna can defeat it again and think of the future, but Yuna cannot be sure about that. The only way to defeat Sin is final summoning, also known as final Aeon. It's the goal of pilgrimage. The faith of final summoning lies at the world's edge in Zanarkand, waiting for summoners who complete their pilgrimage. This Zanarkand is ruined, destroyed by Sin 1,000 years ago. Tidus wants to go seeing it with his own eyes. The Guardians meet Seymour and his Guardians. He orders the guards to let the Guardians go to the command center. Seymour is commanding the Crusaders. It makes Waka doubt why Seymour is sided with Crusaders because Crusaders are using Al Bhed's Machina in Mihen operation. This is against Yevon's teaching. Seymour says because they wish peace for Spira, and as a denizen of Spira, he wants to support them. Lusu will go to prepare Machina's activation. Gata wants to go with him, but he refuses. Lusu apologizes to Waka that he convinced Chapu to enlist the Crusaders and gets punched by Waka. Waka reveals Chapu wanted to propose to Lulu when won the cup, but Luzu says Chapu preferred to drive Sin away from Lulu's life. Waka still wants Luzu to be alive. The Guardians meets Maester Wen Canuck, who comes to greet Orin. Canuck is one of the 4 Maesters of Yevon. He leads the warrior monks and commands the Crusaders. Orin thinks this operation isn't worked, but Seymour stops him from talking. The priest and Yevonites refuge from the command center because after Operation started, many fiends will break through here. This operation is gathering fiends spawned from Sin to draw Sin here and attack Sin by Crusader troops. The command center is wiped out. Machina cannon is ready to shot now. But it cannot break Sin's barrier and gets destroyed instead. Yuna thinks to summoning for help, but Seymour says her power is too weak. Tidus follows Sin by diving into the sea, but cannot find anything. Tidus wakes up on the beach. All he can remember is when Yuna performed sending. Orin knows that Canuck's plan is to wiping out the unbelievers of Yevon, and it's already success. Then the both parts their way. Yuna meets Seymour. He says now Yuna is a symbol of people's strength, Spira's hope. Then Seymour asks Yuna to lean on him as Yunalesca had her Lord Zaon. Orin explains that Sin came to see Tidus and show its nature of destroying, so Tidus can kill him. After this, Yuna has to pray in Jo's temple. She needs to pray in every temple to prepare mind and body for the final summoning. Orin asks Tidus not to tell Yuna about Jekt. The Guardians see lighting mushroom rock that reveals the temple when a summoner is calling the faith. The summoner inside the temple is Asaru. The Guardians of Asaru warn Tidus that currently summoners who is on pilgrimage are quickly disappearing. The Guardians goes down the moonflow to the Gaudo city of Guadosalam. Moonflow is full of light flown from the flower named Moonlily. They are light from pyrophiles when the night fall. Pyrophiles are lights of dead souls, its energy projected the form of spirit. The Guardians ride Shupuf, a big animal, from south bank to north bank of Moonflow. Shupuf walks through the sea. Tidus can see Sunken City under the sea, also known as Machina City, 1,000 years ago, and was destroyed by Sin. Tidus meets Riku. The Guardians defeated Machina that she was riding above the Sunken City, so she was drifting away under the water. Tidus introduces her to the Guardians, and Yuna accepts her. The Guardians arrives to Guadosalam and meets Trommel Guado, subordinate of Seymour. Trommel invites the Guardians to get inside Manor. Seymour is son of the previous Maester Jaiskal who wed a human woman. Jaiskal brought the teachings of Yevon to Guado. Trommel explains Seymour is half human and half Gaudo, so he will be the tie binding the two races and guide Gaudo. Then, Seymour shows the sphere projected the thoughts of the dead wandering in Farplane. There also be Zanarkand metropolis from 1,000 years ago. Lady Yunalesca lived in Zanarkand that time. She was the first person who defeated Sin. To defeat an unbeatable monster, it needed an unbreakable bond of love that bound 2 hearts for eternity. Then Seymour asks Yuna to marry him, to be leader of Spira with him, and soothingly soothes people in despair of Sin. Yuna wants to go seeing her father in Farplane to ask about marriage, so the Guardians goes with her except Orin Riku. Farplane is underworld where the souls of dead rested in peace. When Pyreflies reacts to people's thought, they project the form of that thought. Yuna tells Tidus about her childhood. When she was 7 years old, her father defeated Sin. There was a joy over Bavel town. She decides to do what everyone wants, not hers. Tidus thinks of his mother and remembers the cause of hating his father. He was jealous that Mother's attention was on Jecht more than him. She was anguished when Jecht was gone. Then the soul of Lord Jaiskal escapes Farplane. When Yuna performs sending, he drops the sphere before disappears. The Guardians thinks he died an unclean death, so he chose to stay in Spira. Lulu warns Tidus not to fall in love with Yuna. Shalinda tells Tidus that Seymour went out to temple in Macalania a while ago, so the Guardians goes through Macalania Woods to find Seymour. Riku is afraid of lighting rod towers and asks the Guardians to rest in lodge of Rin's travel agency on the way. She says when she was little, a fiend attacked her while she was swimming at the beach. Her brother tried to beat it with Thunderspell but hit her instead. Yuna tells everyone that she decides to marry Seymour. Orin knows that it's because of sphere dropped by Jaiskal. He asks her to show it, but Yuna refuses. When going to Temple of Macalania, the Guardians learn from Dona's guardian that Dona is disappeared on the way here. Aran brings the Guardians to see the place where spheres are made of. It absorbs and preserves people's memories. Tidus receives Jecht's sphere. It shows memories of Jecht, Braska, and Orin. Jecht always wanted to return to Zanarkand, but with his pilgrimage with Braska and Orin, he realized Braska's resolve. Then he decided to give up going home. Yuna decides to go with Trommel and meet Seymour, but she will marry him with one condition. She wants to continue the pilgrimage after married. Then Riku's brother appears. He plans to use an anti-magic field on the Guardians. After defeated his Machina, Riku admits that she and her brother are Albed, but have never resisted Yevon. Waka cannot accept Albed because Albed's using Machina gave birth to Sin. Riku tells him to show the proof of his belief, but he says it's Yevon's teaching. So Riku objects because nothing changed with the same old thought. Tidus disagrees with Waka, that he dislikes Riku just because she is Albed, even though they get along well during the journey. Then the Guardians continue their journey with Machina vehicle. Lulu tells Tidus that Waka doesn't like Albed because Chapu used Machina's weapon and got killed by Sin. Lulu is obliged to accept Sin as punishment. Then Tidus realizes that no one knows what Sin really is. The Guardian follow Yuna to Cloister of Trial and find sphere that Yuna got from Jiskel. Jiskel knew Seymour's talent as Maester, but Seymour got twisted because of Crucial Life. He is using Yevon, Gaudo, and summoners to bring chaos to Spira, and Jiskel was killed by Seymour. The Guardians meet Seymour in front of the Chamber of the Faith. The battle is about to begin, but Yuna comes out of chamber. Then Yuna accepts that she wants to stop Seymour by herself. The Guardians defeat Seymour, but Trommel and his men comes to save him. They accuse the Guardians of the traitor. They announce this issue to other Maesters and destroy Jiskel's sphere, so the Guardians has to escape the temple. The Guardians falls under the lake ice after battle with Gaudo tribe. Orin spirits up the Guardians to continue pilgrimage, and if Yevon gets in their way, they will defy Yevon. Yuna suggests to go to Bavel and explain everything to Maester Mika. Aron's homeland is Spira, but he was brought to Zanarkand because of Sin. Tidus thinks Sin is a link between Spira and Zanarkand. If he kills Sin, he will never be home again. Sin appears and brings the Guardians to a desert. Riku says the Guardians is on Beaconal Island where Albed's homeland is nearby. Riku believes that Albed may rescue Yuna and she can guide the Guardians there, but Albed's homeland should be secret. Waka still has bias to Albed. Riku sees Albed's homeland is attacked by monsters. Riku's brother named Kayaku died. Sid, Riku's father and leader of Albed, asks the Guardians to help driving out Guados. Riku explains Albed was scattered all over Spira because Sin destroyed their island. Cid brought Albed together again and worked hard to build their new home. Yuna may be in Summoner's Sanctuary where Albed kidnapped and brings summoners there to protect them. When Tidus says if guardians can fulfill their duty, summoners should be safe, but no one agrees with him. The summoners want to perform sending for Albed because they die protecting them.
They might defeat Sin. Yuni could... But then she... Yuni will die, you know? You know, don't you? Summoner's journey to get the final Aeon. Yuna told you, didn't she? With the final Aeon.
Tidus just know that summoners need to sacrifice themselves to get final Aeon at the end of Pilgrimage. Cid prepares to activate Machina to escape the island. Tidus asks Cid about Yuna's whereabouts, but he doesn't tell until Tidus promises that Eunice will not be sacrificed. Cid plans to look for her with airship named Fahrenheit. After escaped Albed's homeland, Cid orders to fire the missiles, destroying his homeland along with monsters. Yuna is Cid's niece. He doesn't allow her to be summoner anymore. Cid's crew finds Yuna. She is in wedding dress standing with Seymour at the Palace of St. Bevelle. Tidus asks Cid to rescue Yuna. Cid says the defense of Bevelle is strong, but Tidus ignores it. Yuna is priority. After had a battle with guardian worm called Evre, the airship loses power and almost falls down. But with anchor wire, the Guardians jumps out to rescue Yuna at the center of Bevelle. Yuna brings her staff to perform sending to Seymour, but Maester Mika stops her with the Guardians' lives in exchange. The marriage is begun. Seymour kisses Yuna in the midst of the Guardians' eyes. Keenock aims the Machina gun to Tidus. Orn asks if it's forbidden to use Machina gun, but Keenock ignores it. Yuna uses her life to threat the enemies. Seymour lets the Guardians go, then Yuna jumps and falls down from the plate. Yuna calls her Aeon to pick her up. Riku uses Flash Bomb to make a chance for escape. The Guardians follows Yuna to Chamber of the Faith. Waka yells that Machina is used in temple against Yevon's teaching. Yevon betrays their own teaching. The Guardians invades to Chamber of Faith and sees Yuna as praying to the faith. Human souls imprisoned in stone by ancient Yevon rites. Then the Faith go inside Yuna's body and she loses consciousness. The Guardians is captured by Keenock's troop to the court of Yevon, under the judge of Maester Kelk Ronso. He says Yuna and the Guardians who accompanied by Albed hurt Seymour. It's traitorous and unforgivable crimes. But Yuna says the real traitor is Maester Seymour who killed his own father, and he had already been dead. Then Mika interrupts the court and shows that he is also a dead one. Spira needs wise leader. Yevon creates rule enlightened by death from sin because power of death is eternal. Yuna objects because she becomes summoner to prevent the death from sin. Mika doesn't see that sacrifice is useless because sin's rebirth can be stopped temporary, not permanent anyway. The cycle of summoner's sacrifice is needed to give people hope eternally, and this is essence of Yevon. And those who question these truths are traitors. The Guardians is executed by throwing into Via Purifico. Tidus, Waka, and Riku find the exit, while Yuna has to fight with all summoners called by Keenock to stop her escaping. Seymour talks to Mika and Keenock that he wants to kill Yuna by himself. Kinok doesn't trust him. The Guardians reunion and face with Seymour, who killed Kinok. Seymour wants Yuna to go to Zanarkand with him, and he'll become the next Sin. Kimahri tries to stab him, but he is invincible and turns the souls of dead to be his power. The Guardians defeat Seymour. Yuna loses her faith since Yevon betrays her. Tidus apologizes to Yuna for his naivety. He didn't know about Summoner's sacrifice. He asks Yuna to quit pilgrimage and live a normal life. They imagine of the world of normal life together. Then Yuna cries and tells Tidus that she cannot do it. Tidus gently takes her to underwater where they can belong together. The Guardians goes to Calm Land where the High Summoner defeated Sin. It's endless plains that make many summoners lose their way. The Guardians goes to Gagazet, sacred mountain of Yevon and Ronso land. The Guardians meets Kelk and his men, leader of Ronso tribe. Yuna says she doesn't follow Yevon anymore, so Ronso tribe sees the Guardians as traitor. But Lulu and Arin understand that Kelk is guarding Gagazet as a Ronso, not a maester. Kelk also loses his faith to Yevon. Yuna decides to fight as a summoner for people in Spira. At least, she will bring the calm to them. Kelk accepts Yuna's will and let the Guardians pass. Biran and Yenkin denied Kimahri to pass. They say Kimahri forgets his birth and his mountain. He shames his tribe. Biran was the one who broke Kimahri's horn. Defeated them, and they accept Kimahri. For a tone of breaking Kimahri's horn, Ronso will stop enemies from Temple. The Guardians meet Seymour. He says he crushed Ronso tribe one by one, and now he wants Yuna to turn him into next Sin. Then Tidus's father will be freed. Defeated him, and Yuna asks Orin about Jecht becomes Sin. Tidus admits that he knew, but he still fights his father. The Guardian sees Gate of Zanarkand, where is full with the faiths, and they are being used for summoning by someone. Everyone asks Orin, but he doesn't answer. Tidus touches the faith, and he wakes up in deserted Zanarkand. The boy in violet cloak is the faith. Tidus sees his friend waking him up, so he realizes that he is in dream. The faith says it's not that Tidus is dreaming, but Tidus is a dream. The faith says long ago there was a Machina war between Zanarkand and Bavel. Bavel's Machina technology was assured of victory. The summoners of Zanarkand lost the battle, and Zanarkand was doomed to oblivion. The summoners and survivors of that war became faith for summoning. The faith summoned the memories of Zanarkand City, Sleepless City, and people lived there, including Tidus and his parent. They've been dreaming so long and tired. Tidus and Jecht had ever touched Sin, a spiral of Spira. So Tidus may be a dream that can end their dream. Arin sees Tidus dulls. He admits that he was shaking when Braska and Jecht was about to summon the final Aeon. He was just a boy who wanted to change the world but cannot change anything. Riku tries to stop Yuna, but she insists to end her pilgrimage at Zanarkand. Tidus picks up Yuna's sphere and hears her record. Her message to Orin that she knew Braska requested Orin and Kimahri to take her from Bavel to Besaid, so she had always wanted to meet Orin. She remembers the joy of Sin defeated by Braska and Bavel, but when the nightfall, only Kimahri was beside her when she was alone, and she was sad again when Kimahri left her in care of Temple at Besaid. She asked him to stay, and Kimahri listened. She always liked his broken horn. And she also leaves message to Lulu, Waka, and Tidus. Yuna goes to the Hall of Final Summoning, but no faith there. The Elder reveals that first statue lost its power as a faith long ago. It was statue of Lord Zaon, and his soul was gone. Yunalesca will show the path for obtain Final Aeon. Summoner and Final Aeon will join powers. The Guardians meet Yunalesca. She let Yuna choose the one who will become Faith of Final Summoning. The bond between the Chosen and Summoner is needed to embody the final Aeon. If the bond is strong enough, its light will conquer Sin. Once Yuna calls forth final Aeon, it will be end of her life. The Guardians discuss about this. Tidus doesn't want the same cycle continued. Yuna says she will not do anything with regret. The Guardians decides to ask Yunalesca the way to break cycle. Yunalesca says every Aeon that defeats sin becomes sin instead. Yevon's teaching about atonement is just a lie for people's hope. Yuna cannot choose her friends to be sacrificed in vain. She wants to break this false tradition. The Guardians chooses to defeat Yunalesca. Yunalesca says even sin is destroyed, you Yevon the Immortal will create sin again. Auron tells Tidus that he died when fought with Yunalesca for revenge, and his soul was unsent. He made his way to outside Bavel, where Kamari found him dying. Auron went to watch over Tidus at Zanarkand because its final wish object.
Sid rides Fahrenheit, the airship, to pick up the Guardians at Zanarkand. Yuna greets Sid. He covers his tears from her. Kimari suggests to find Mika and make him talk about Sin. Lulu suggests the hymn of the faith that Jecht was usually humming can make Sin docile. Going to find Mika, the Guardians is about to get attacked, but Shalinina stops the troop and says Yuna is not a traitor. It's rumors spread by evil Albed. She says Yevon is in confused state and the priests blame each other. Auron says it's another lie because Yuna is only hope left now. The Guardians meet Mika and learn that Yu Yevon is the one who crafts the souls of the dead into unholy armor. That armor called Sin. Yu Yevon is inside Sin, so he is invincible. Final Aeon is the only thing that can piece through that armor. Then Mika disappears. The Faith asks the Guardians to go to Chamber of the Faith. Yu Yevon was once a great summoner and peerless. Now he lives for only one purpose, to summon. He is neither good nor evil. When he is awake, he dreams. Even defeat Sin with final summoning, Yu Yevon will live because he will merge with final Aeon and transform it into new Sin. Then, protected by new Sin, he continues summoning. Faith asks Yuna to summon Aeon. When defeating Yu Yevon, he will help. And after defeated Yu Yevon, Faith's dream will be end and vanished. The Guardians asks Shalinda to tell everyone in Spira that there will be a hymn loudened from airship. When hearing it, please sing along and the Guardians may be able to defeat Sin. Sid activates Machina in airship to louden the hymn. When battle with Sin is about to begin, Tidus throws away Yuna's sphere. Then, Sin attacks and makes serious damage to the Earth. The Guardians makes damage to Sin while airship is firing towards Sin. Then the Guardians decides to jump inside Sin. Sin gets damage and falls from the sky toward Bavel. Sin is transformed and absorbs Seymour. The Guardians defeats him. Yuna performs sending. Finally, the Guardians meets Jecht. Tidus has his last chance to talk to Jecht before he disappears.
You're gonna cry. You always cry. See? You're crying.
I hate you, Dad.
Then Yu Yevon comes and Eunice has to call Aeon to be merged with Yu Yevon's one by one.
Here it comes!
And defeat them all. After defeating the last Aeon, Yu Yevon appears. Tidus bid farewell to the Guardians.
Okay?
Huh?
What I'm trying to say is, after we beat Yu Yevon, I'll disappear.
What are you talking?
then defeats Yevon. Now the true peace returns to Spira. Celebration is begun, while all the bodies of faith is deteriorating. The faiths are disappearing along with their dream. Yuna performs the sending, and the dead is going to Farplane for eternal slumber, including Orin.
Don't stop.
But
It's all right.
Now, the faiths are disappeared. Their dreams are also disappearing, including Tidus.
Yuna, I have to go. I'm sorry I couldn't show you Zanarkand. Goodbye.
Hey!
We're gonna see you again!
Yuna!
I love you.
High Summoner Yuna is giving a speech at Stadium in Luca. After the long battle of sin for 1,000 years, eternal calm has begun in Spira. She will start reconstruction of the towns together with people in Spira.
Working together. Now we can make new homes for ourselves. And
Tidus is in slumber, waiting for wake up again in Spira. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe for more movie-style game stories. We cover everything from classic RPGs like Final Fantasy to the latest mobile and MMO. Life's busy, so we keep games short and sweet. Get the story without the time commitment. A quarter of the time, all the fun. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.